So I think it is recorded. So once again, good afternoon, all of you. We were discussing about Mahabharat Santi Prabha, and in the Santi Prabha, as I mentioned, there are, you know, uh, 18, 18, 18 Prabha or books, Prabha books in Mahabharat, and the 12th book is known as the Santi Parva. And in the Santi Parva, there are 353 chapters, 12,863 Solka or words, and it has been divided into three sub-books. One is the Raja Dharma, second is the Apoda Dharma, and third is the Moksha Dharma. And in your course, that Raja Dharma is there, Raja Dharma. Uh, so in the first class, I defined the multiple meaning or connotation of the word Raja Dharma, and we discussed about the theory of the origin of this step or kingship, right? And today we will discuss about the duty and obligation of the king or ruler. Duty and obligation of the king or ruler. As I mentioned earlier also, the prime duty of the king is to maintain peace, order, and dharma. And to what does it mean by maintaining peace, order, and dharma? It means that protection of people from internal and external, aggression or danger. It
Sir,
presupposes that
hello.
there are danger. Yes,
Sir, you can join some people, sir. You just
yes.
invite them, sir. People like Rafi, me, we are not unable to join, sir.
Why? I have already sent the request in the WhatsApp, right? The link has been there in the WhatsApp, isn't it? Okay. So to maintain the peace and order or dharma, it is the prime duty of the king. And what does it mean? It means the protection of people from internal and external aggression or danger. It means, in the Raja Dharma, I mean, it is presupposed that there is a danger to individual life, liberty, and property
Sir,
from internal source and from external source. Yes,
sir, sir, most of you are unable to join, sir. You just
yes.
invite us, sir. Sairam, Rafi, and me.
No, whatever link. I mean, I have sent the link, but through link they will join and I will accept their invite, accept it them, right? Have they joined through that link? Venkatesh, have they joined in that link?
Yeah, now they are joining, sir. They got a new link now.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. So that means, I was telling, there is a uh, kind of danger to the individual's life, liberty, and property uh, from internally and from external. The king, in order to maintain peace and order, order and dharma needs to apply proper dandaniti for upholding the dharma, right? That means the king has to decide what is a proper punishment and what is an improper punishment, and the king must have guts to apply the proper punishment to the culprit. That culprit may be from internally or externally. That culprit may be from his own family, or maybe from outside of his family, right? And the king needs to punish the evil and reward the virtuous, and the king needs to needs to protect the weak and innocent, right? So maintaining peace, order and dharma demands that protecting people from the internal and external aggression first. Second, applying dandaniti to the culprit. The culprit may be from internal source or from the external source. And second, the king must punish the evil and reward the virtuous. I mean, the good person, the king, is required to give them reward, right? And the king must protect the weak and innocent, right? And the last, the king must please and protect the people. Please and protect the people. I mean, the satisfaction of people is also important obligation of the king. That king must provide, satisfaction to the people. The king must provide protection to the people. Now, through all these, duties or sub duties, the king can maintain the peace, order, and dharma. And today, you can also think about what is the need of a political leader to do. What is the need of a prime minister, need of a chief minister to do in order to maintain peace and order and dharma. And some of the prescription in the Raja Dharma, you can also find it is even valid today. Now, the welfare and prosperity of the people living in the state is the prime concern of the king. So the king must think about the welfare of the individual, welfare of the society, welfare of the state. The king must also think about the prosperity of the people, and how that prosperity will happen only when wealth will generated in the state. Then only people can prosper. Now, for the wealth generation, the king must expand his own territory. And the king must be impartial, strict, and just while dispensing, justice. That means impartial. That means neutrality. Neutrality. The king should not favor, to a person who belongs to or who belongs to him. Him means there are many cleavages that is attached to self or attached to us. So on the basis of cleavages, the king should not, dispense justice. To dispense justice, you have to be, impartial. You have to be neutral, and to give justice, you need to be strict. I mean, that flexibility may cause towards injustice. So justice means something that is right and something that is wrong. So you have to take a position whether Ajmal Kasab, for example, Ajmal Kasab should be hanged or should not be hanged. It cannot be in between. So that means you have to be very strict whether to give capital punishment to Ajmal Kasab or not to give. So you have to be strict, and your decision must fix some decision or some conclusion, right? That is, strictness. And just. And just means something which is not unjust. And what is just? That is objective, that is valid, and that is reliable. That the king must, maintain objectivity, validity, and reliability while dispensing justice to the people. And the king must maintain and expand the state. So maintaining and expanding the state is also another obligation of the king, because that expansion and the maintenance is very much related with pleasing and protecting people. I mean, if you are not expanding your territory, then some other king will, occupy your territory, and you may fail to protect the life, liberty, and property of your people. And from the expansion, you get the wealth, and through wealth, what you do prosperity, and by prosperity, you give satisfaction to your own people. Then the king must give interest and happiness of his own people over his own interest and happiness. That is something Raja Dharma. You remember about, Lord Ram, and when Lord Ram decided to leave his wife Sita into the jungle, and by listening some of the nuisance on her from the Praja, then Lord Ram, he knew that Sita is virtuous, Sita is pure, Sita is not impure, but Ram maintained the Raja Dharma, and it is the Raja Dharma. For that cause, Ram left Sita in the jungle. Now, this point also symbolizes the same thing, that the own interest and happiness doesn't matter or should not matter to the king, right? So Ram knew that Sita is pure. Now, that is Ram's understanding. That is not the understanding of all Praja. But all Praja, they are thinking something else. And that's why the Raja Dharma, what constitute pleasing and protecting the people, demands Ram to leave Sita. And why? Why Raj Dharma demands? Because Raj Dharma speaks that the king must value the Praja's interest over his or her own interest. Then the king is considered having God's part in him, a visible symbol of Prajapati, the chief of God on earth. That is something the divine origin or divine theory of origin theory of state that speaks about. That since the God has created the king, and the God has given the power to the king to apply the Danda Niti, hence the king is considered that there is a God that is attached to the king, and God is for all, and king should be for all. And king is considered as the march of God on earth, what Hegel said it. State is the march of God on the earth. Your state means basically king. King is the march of God on the earth. King is the God. So you should have unconditional obedience to the king, because you are having unconditional obedience to the God. The king should be truthful, trustworthy, and virtuous. He should be conscientious and simple, hospitable, and merciful, yet pragmatic and unbiased. Now, these are the important qualities of a king or of a leader. And what are the important qualities? Now, the first is the truthful. The king should not lie. The king should not be afraid of truth. The king should have courage to speak the truth. And the person who bravely speak truth before king, the king must reward that person. And if possible, the king should also pardon or give pardon to that person, because that person spoke truth. That the king must be truthful and trustworthy. Trustworthy means the king must be reliable. The king, the way, vote of non-confidence motion, if it raised against the prime minister, then the ministership has to go, has to disappear. So the confidence of the people must be there with the king. King must have the trust of the people. And the king must be virtuous. Virtuous means having wisdom. Again, what do you mean by wisdom? Wisdom means the king must speak right thing and the king must do the right thing. When the right action is derived from the right thought, then it is called wisdom. And when you have wisdom, then you become virtuous. Because the king has the wisdom, the king is trustworthy. There is trust of people with the king. Then the king should be conscientious and simple. That means the king must be scientific. The king should follow religion and should not also follow religion. The king must give a rational justification whenever he does any action. Rational justification. And what is the need of rational justification? The need of rational justification in order to create a voluntary obedience of praja towards the king. And the king must be simple. Why king must be simple? Now because the praja, the subjects, they are simple. If king will not be simple, then the praja will be afraid of king. The praja may lie to the king. Through his simplicity, the king identified himself with the praja, and it gives strength to the praja in order to speak truth before the king. The king should be hospitable and merciful. Hospitable means the king should not hate the praja. So anybody who comes to the king must give a hospitable behavior to that praja. That praja, before leaving the Raj Darbar, the praja must get a satisfaction and smile on his or her face. That is hospitable. And merciful, the king must give or must have the forgiving attitude. Now, what is forgiving attitude? If the crime is because of act of omission, then it is forgivable. That you can forgive a person if it is a crime based on act of omission. But if it is a crime based on act of commission, then forgiving or becoming or being merciful becomes very difficult for the king. But king should have the attitude of merciness. The king should not be there to punish the culprit. Punishment is the last decision. If it can be forgive, then it will be forgive, or it will be forgive. The king will say, or the king will think whether it is forgivable or not. That is the attitude of mercifulness. The king must be pragmatic and unbiased. So all these values constitute the moral or the ideal values of the king. Now in the Dharma Shastra, it is mentioned that, or in the Rajadharma it is mentioned that the king must be ideal and king must be pragmatic. Ideal in thought, pragmatic in action, and pragmatism must be derived from the ideal or idealism. Now there are 36 virtues of king. There are 36 virtues of the king that is mentioned in the Rajadharma, and which has been categorized into three parts. What? Of inviting nature, of intelligence nature, and of enthusiastic nature. Inviting nature means the king should look like a king. The king, when I'm saying the king must look like a king, it means his appearance. Now, there are certain virtue that is related with this appearance. Then there are certain virtue that comes under the intelligence nature. The king must be intelligent. There are some virtue that is related with the enthusiastic or enthusiasm. What is it called? Enthusiastic in nature or enthusiasm. There are certain virtue. The king, I'm continuing, the king must subdue his sense of self-control. Then only can he subdue enemy and maintain dharma in people. That is called that if you do not have control over your appetite, and all of your appetite is related with your panchandriya, five senses. If you do not have control over the five senses, then you may not have control over your body, mind, and spirit. Once you are having control over your body, mind, and spirit, then you can control your enemy and you can maintain dharma in the people. So whatever Raja will do, king will do, the praja, the subjects, they will follow their king. If the Raja is doing dharma, then the praja will also do the dharma. And that's how the maintenance of dharma in a kingdom becomes possible. The king should be efficient, enterprising, industrious, energetic, and enthusiastic. Efficient means the king is the best person to do that function. That is efficiency. See, nobody is better than the king in order to maintain the kingdom. The king must be the better person to handle the problem of the kingdom. That is the efficiency quality of a king. Then enterprising. The king must create various alternatives to people so that every people will get work and food. The king will not give resources from his Rajakosha. Rather, the king must be or must have the enterprising attitude. The king must be industrious. Industrious means the king should always work. The way it is said that Narendra Modi works 18 hours. Now this, if it is true, then this 18-hour working is nothing but the industrious aspect of that personality. Now the king must be industrious, energetic. Again, I am giving the example of Narendra Modi. Is he not energetic? The king must be energetic so that every individual, every citizen will follow that king and they will become energetic and industrious. King's conduct should be different in different situations. Sometimes mild, sometimes hard, sometimes cruel, sometimes kind, sometimes helpful, sometimes helpless. The way the peacock, the colorful bird, exposed in various forms in the time of capturing a snake. The king here has been compared with a peacock. When a peacock tries to capture a snake, then he or she exposes various forms at that time. And the king must expose various forms in his personality so that the praja cannot taken for granted to the king. The praja should know that Raja has multiple images. The praja should know that it is difficult to cheat the king. It is difficult to understand his personality. If it is easy for the praja to understand the personality of the king, then the praja may do many disturbances in the kingdom. So it is the enigmatic, I am using the word enigmatic, attitude of the king that strengthens the image of Raja before the eyes of Praja. Then the Raja or the king should perform yajna, do sacrifice for maintenance and expansion of the state and welfare of the people. Now, the concept yajna is very important here. And in the yajna, what does it mean by yajna? Yajna means it is your committed or it is your commitment that you are committed to do certain things. You are doing yajna, that when I have said that I will do it, I will do it. And the performance of the rituals is nothing but declaring your commitment that you are going to do it. So the king should perform yajna. The king should sacrifice his own appetite, personal happiness for maintaining and expanding the territory. You can remember the case of Hiranyakashyap. He was also a king, king of Daitya, or Ashura king. When he went to Swarga, heaven, to fight against Indra, at that time, his child was in the womb of her wife. That means he was about to become a father. If the king would have looked at his personal interest, then he would not have gone to heaven in order to fight against Indra. But rather, he opted going to heaven and fight against Indra because he is bound by maintaining and expanding this state. And through this maintaining and expanding of the state, he can bring welfare to his people. He can give a kind of justice to the Asura. You know, all the Asura, they have a preconceived notion that Lord Vishnu has cheated with them. They were being cheated and their life has been degraded. So injustice has been done against them. And for that, they regularly do tapasya and then attack the Swarga or the heaven. Then the king should keep virtuous advisor, minister, and counsel. Virtuous advisor. And what is the need of virtuous advisor? Now, if the king is virtuous, suppose take this situation, the king is virtuous, but the minister, advisors, and counselors, they are unvirtuous. Then is it possible to maintain a welfare state? No. The king alone or his virtue alone cannot bring welfare of the people. For that, the advisor, minister, and counselor, they should also like king. They should also have the virtue what their king is having. The king should be or should become the role model for his people. The king should become the role model to his people. So the king must know that whatever he is doing, people are following them, or following him, sorry. People are following him. So that's why the king must do the righteous activities. King always should try to be good for his opponents by any means. That means those who are Bidrohi and the Bidrohi, those who are opponents, those who are not obeying king, those who are having bad intention, these people may belong to the internal sphere of the king or from the external sphere of the king. The king should destroy the opponents, and the king should good at his own subjects. So those who are obeying king, following the dharma, the king should be good at them. And those who are opposing dharma, opposing king, then the king should destroy them. The king should follow Dandaniti to maintain the dharma. I have already mentioned. Life of a king is a mission, and that he must always remind himself that he happens to be the king only for fulfilling his obligation towards society, not deriving worldly pleasure. That means the king should always think that there are responsibilities he has to perform. The powers what he has is to do those responsibilities. The life of a king is not simple one. It is a tapasya, it is a yajna. It is a mission that the king has to attain ultimately. The king must achieve that mission. The king must always remind himself that he is a king because he has to fulfill his obligation towards society, towards people, towards state, not towards his own appetite. The king must give up his likes and dislikes. So his likes and dislikes is very much personal to that king. So when the king is sitting on that chair that is meant for that king, the king should act fearlessly. The king should perform acts based on dharma and should always behave in an impartial manner. I have also mentioned it earlier. As a matter of fact, the king should treat his subjects as his own family without any bias and should not avoid punishing even the offenses committed by his own sons or favorite persons. That means all the praja, they are the children of the king. They are the children of the king. All the praja. All the praja are the family members of that king. So there is no difference between his children and the praja for the king. If a offense or a crime is committed by his own family member, then he is equally be punished the way the other praja gets the punishment. The king should do that. The king should be the seeker of good what is known as Shreya, seeker of good, and not the pleasure or prayer. The king should reject prayer, and the king should be the seeker of Shreya, Shrestha, Swatantra, Samarthya. These are some of the connotation of Shreya. The king must be Uttama, good. So there is a difference between the Uttama and Shrestha. In Mahabharata, Arjuna was having the virtue of Uttama, and Karna wants to be Shrestha. So Uttama means basically what? That you are not having any enmity, feeling of jealousness towards other. You do not want to be better. You are happy that you are good. Shrestha means you are competing, you are having jealous, and you are not satisfied that you are good. You want to better, or you want to, you know, you want to cross your opponent. You want to show your opponent that you are inferior. That is the appetite of Shrestha. The king must be Uttama, not Shrestha. And the Karna was having the appetite, or Karna wants a pleasure of becoming better than the Arjuna. But Arjuna was Uttama because Arjuna was the seeker of good, Shreya. The king must be like Arjuna, not like Karna. Then the king should collect wisdom from various sources and should also apply this wisdom so that moral laws are observed. Now you remember about Lord Ram. When Ravana was killed and Ravana was about to die, at that time Lord Ram asked his younger brother Lakshman that, Lakshman, you go to Ravana and learn the Rajatantra, the statecraft, how to govern a state from Ravana, because Ravana is a Pandit. So Ravana knows better than anyone else. And Lakshman replied, Bhratasri, Ravana is our enemy and you just killed Ravana and Ravana is going to die. Now you are telling me to do that. I am not understanding your intention. Then Ram replied, the war is over. The enmity is over. Now it is the time to learn the positive virtue, good virtue from the bad individual. So it is not necessary that bad individuals are having bad virtue or bad, guna. Bad individual may have certain good virtue. Go and learn good virtue from Ravana. So it symbolizes, what it symbolizes? It symbolizes that the king should collect wisdom from various sources. So if it is there with Ravana, the king should collect wisdom from Ravana, good things from the bad person. The king should apply those wisdom so that the moral laws are observed. So moral laws are not sectarian. Moral laws are beyond sectarianism. So to morality, nobody is an enemy. There is only good work and bad work. Bad work needs to be converted into good work. And every bad individual has certain good qualities. And morality demands learning those good qualities. So above all, the king should be the follower of truth, ahimsa in spirit. So follower of truth and ahimsa in spirit. So criminal thought should not be there with the king. I have mentioned earlier that he should be the seeker of truth. And he should always be non-violent. He should have very patience. So there is a difference between good king and bad king. Good king, they have patience, and bad king, they are impatient. A king following the principles of Raja Dharma does not hate anyone, do any work in haste. I'm repeating, a king following the principles of Raja Dharma does not hate anyone and do any work in haste. It is important. So all these prescriptions are made in the Raja Dharma. If the king is following the Raja Dharma, then the king will not hate any person. He will love all individuals, and he will not do any work in haste. Haste, what does it mean by haste? Tell me. Haste. Haste means what? What do you mean by haste? Haste means quick. Haste means quick. The king must not take quick decision. In our legal jurisprudence, a beautiful phrase is there that hurried justice is buried justice. Hurried justice is buried justice. If you are taking a quick decision, then there is a possibility that you may missing something, you may omitting, or you may committing. Opposite to this phrase, hurried justice is buried justice. Opposite to this phrase, there is another counter phrase in the legal jurisprudence, that is, delayed justice is denied justice. If you are delaying, then you are also denying. Now I am ending here. Today we learned about the duties and obligation of the king or the ruler that is mentioned in the Raja Dharma. And in the next class, we will deal with the Dandaniti, the art and science of the governance and administration. Then Raja Dharma as the state craft or Rajniti Shastra. Then we will understand the political obligation, the duty of people. What are the political obligation of the people? So thank you very much. And before I take your confusion, queries, inputs, observation, let me say you, I have asked you to take two classes in two different times in a day, in every day. So one timing is 4 to 5, it is okay. But then you have to refix, or you have to fix another time, that which time is conducive to all of you. We have to cover up your course. To cover it, we need extra classes, right? Now you let me know what timing should be conducive to all of you, so that every day we can take 2-hour classes in two or during two different timings, so that within 1 or 1.5 months we will able to finish your course. You give me that timing. Venkatesh,
Sir,
you give me the timing. Actually, we have to finish your course. Extra classes are required. So 4 to 5, it will continue.
okay, sir.
Then the other timing, you give me the timing, so that when you all are free, we can sit 1 hour and we can discuss.
I think it's 4 to 6. It's fine, sir. For me,
But I need a gap actually. I need a gap of half an hour.
uh, let's everyone react, sir.
So, huh, let's everyone react. Now do one thing. You just send your position in the WhatsApp, so that it will be good, right? You may not you know uh, speak it or tell me here. You just use WhatsApp, so that a convenient time can be derived at, and we will sit and discuss in that timing as well. Now, uh, it is the time for asking me any doubts, questions. I don't think that there should be any doubt, because it is very much crystal clear.
Sir, evening 6 to 7.
Yes, Taha?
6 to 7 in the evening.
No, it is not audible. It's not clear actually. I can hear you.
6 to 7, sir.
Do one thing. You just type it. Type it.
Sir, he's saying 6 to 7.
Acha, 6 to 7. Okay. So from 4 to 5 and 6 to 7.
Yes, sir.
I think it is okay. It is okay. It is okay for me. On 4 to 5 and 6 to 7, it is okay for me. Right. So fix it from 6 to 7. For tomorrow onwards, I will do from 4 to 5 and 6 to 7. Right?
Okay, sir.
So any questions?
Sir,
Yes.
No,
when will be our second internal, sir?
So let me finish your Rajadharma. Then we will start your Kautalya. So let me take 4 to 5 classes. So after
So,
taking 4 to 5 classes, that means maybe after 3 or 4 days we are going to have your second internal.
so it will be
After
before 5th or before after
uh,
6th?
before
It will be on 5th, sir. Before
on
5th.
5th December.
Yeah.
Okay, let's fix on 5th. Let's fix on 5th itself. Second internal will be on 5th.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Oh.
Sir,
Taha.
next week, sir.
Next week.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you decide. So 5th is the next week or not?
Sir, next week, sir. 9th or 10th.
No, I
Because
can't hear you properly.
to cover that
Taha,
we were talking.
there is serious network problem. So you can use WhatsApp in order to have any kind of clarification or doubt, right? So I think
Sir,
since I
he
cannot
want to
hear
say
you, I
that.
cannot answer your question. Yes,
Sir, he want to say
yes,
that.
Venkatesh, it is audible.
Yeah, it will be on written test, or it will be assignment and presentation, or it will only assignment. He want to say that.
Oh, Haitha, you are asking the form of, examination.
Like,
So I will let you know. I will let you know. So I will let you know later. So thank you guys. So I'm not taking your question because there is a network problem. I can hear Venkatesh, but not Taha. And I don't know whether others are having the right network or not. But if there is any query, any confusion, you can ask me via WhatsApp. So thank you. Thank you very much.